Hey guys, Mark Robinson here, and I'm your host, and welcome to another episode of Wealth Rewired. I'm flying solo again. Beautiful wife is out doing cool stuff while I thought I'd smash out a couple of episodes. Now, in the episode before this one, if you haven't watched it, I spoke all about the types of insurances you need, right? When, you know, whether in case you die or you don't die. Yeah. And I had fun doing it. You got to have fun, guys, in this thing because it's a horrible, horrible topic. I'm going to go through something today, right now. I haven't decided whether we're going to make this booklet public or not. But oh my God, it is probably one of the best things that we've created in terms of getting everything organized, right? And I'm talking about next level stuff, yeah? So I thought what I would do now is just to give you a bit of an idea of what you probably need to do to get everything sorted out, yeah? The reason why we're trying to work out how we to give away this booklet to the public is because it's the way we've done it, right? My wife and I, Billy, she's such an incredible woman. We've built two visualizations that go with the exercise. Yeah. The first visualization paints a picture of, that, hey, you've passed away, you've come back to witness, what your funeral and after party would look like. Yeah. In the first visualization, guys, we literally smack you between the eyes and we paint a picture that, because you didn't leave everything in a tidy order, the picture's not that great. Yeah. And then we get you to do some exercises and then we get you to come back, right? We make it better, right? You've actually gone through the whole book and we do another visualization. And, the couple of times that we've done this live, we hit home with a couple of people, so we just got to balance it out and go, wow, how do we do it so that we protect you guys, right? Because we wouldn't be there if and genuinely, I believe that it has to go with the visualization, right? You've got to put yourself into that position and feel the power of, the breath and the visualization and everything that we do. Yeah. So, but hey, let's go through some of the topics that we cover in here so that so that if we don't ever do it, you'll have a bloody good understanding of, what's required before you pass, right? We can't do it after, pal. Well, I haven't seen anyone who's been able to come back and sort their crap out and then bugger off again, right? And go from there. So let's look, it starts off pretty basic, right? We talk about things like your estate planning questionnaire. And basically what we're suggesting you do is get um uh like a folder or a hard disk, right? And you let someone know where it is, whether it's in your safe at home or in a private vault, and so on your passing, then this is there ready to rock and roll, and you've got everything there, right? So let's things like this, right? You just start off with the basics. You put your full name, date of birth, contact number, partner, spouses, all your children, dependents, who's the executor of your will, guardians, all that sort of stuff, right? You talk about, you list all your major assets, right? All your investments, that sort of stuff, any digital assets as well, where they're held. Now, there's obviously going to be some extremely sensitive information, so you want to make sure that it's stored in a way, right? And we talk all about that in the workshop as well. Yeah. And then you want to do some self-assessments, right? So we talk about, right now, do you have a current will, right? Or do you have like a trust or a testamentary trust that'll be triggered at some point? Have you actually named your financial power of attorney, your health power of attorney? Yeah. The health one is pretty simple, guys. If you're incapacitated, right, or you need someone to flick the switch to let you pass on, you need someone, yeah? And you got to have that mixture, right? You don't want someone who wants to see you go too soon, but you also want to know that if your wishes are to, do not resuscitate, or, I know for a fact I do not want to be a burden on my family at all. Yeah, so we've got this very, very clear. Yeah. Same as the financial one, right? If you're not able to do anything, can someone make a financial decision on your behalf? You need to know all these sort of things. You know, do you have your beneficiaries? Who are they? Are they designated, right? Do you have your current wishes in place? And these are just little yes, no ones, right? And where we take it a bit further in this thing, right, is things like personal reflections and goals, right? So here's a couple of questions, guys. You know, what are your top 3 legacy planning goals? Yeah, what are your top 3 legacy planning goals? What values or messages would you like to pass on? You know, like I'm getting goosebumps with this, you know, because this is pretty powerful. You know, have you thought about that? You know, what values? You know, I'd love to know, you know, the messages for me is, you know, hey, I want my kids to know that I truly love them. I was so proud of them. Crikey, I'm choking up myself. You know, but also what my values are. You know, they know that I stand for freedom above everything, right? Freedom above everything. Because with freedom, I can have fun, I can look after my family, I can do everything they want to do. But the minute they take freedom off us, right? And again, that's another story we could head down. But at the end of the day, that's the key. Yeah. So look, then we go into things like, you know, who are the key people in your life to include in your planning, right? So we're pretty excited, guys. For the first time in a long time, we're going to have both our girls in the same country, in the same city, and fingers crossed in the same house. Right, coming up, right? So we're going to have, and it's going to be terrible, but we're going to have a good hour and a half, 2 hours of planning, and we're going to be running through the stuff so they know exactly what's what. Yeah, you know, just things like, you know, legal document inventory. So you just have a checklist, you know, do you know where your will is, your power of attorney, you know, all that sort of stuff. You know where a checklist, right? Do you know where your insurances are, income protection, trauma, superannuation? Do you know? Just make sure you know they're all there, right? Um, but then here's the thing, right? I thought this is another powerful part that we put together. What's your family communication plan? Yeah. What I mean by that is, you know, have you discussed your will with your family? Yeah. One of the things I've always suggested, you know, even now, but when I was a financial advisor, I used to I used to call it the Sunday roast conversation. Yeah, you bring everybody involved, everyone who you feel needs to know, right? And you tell them your wishes. You tell them exactly how you feel. Well, you maybe not that, right? But you want to tell them to go, hey guys, you know, on my passing, all my assets are going to be divided this way, and here are my reasons. Right now, hey, you don't have to give anyone a reason, yeah? But I can promise you guys, the more reason you give them, the less hassle and potential breakup of a family is going to happen when you pass. Yeah, this is the key. My biggest fear, right, above everything else is literally, and my 2 girls, our 2 girls, I should say, our 2 girls breaking up over our money. Yeah, that would break me. And I get the fact, team, that where I won't be around to see it, right? I'm not like that, but we're all energy, right? I genuinely believe that, you know, we'll know somehow that it didn't work. But I know that, you know, is the way that we're doing things with our life, right? They're going to be knowing exactly what's what and who's who and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. The thing, other questions, guys. Do your loved ones know your medical preferences? You know, that's things like, you know, organ donor, do not resuscitate, etc., etc. Yeah. And then the exercise that we put under that one is draft a plan for a family meeting. And like I said, I always think the Sunday roast conversation is the best one to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. So, legacy assets, right? This is the sort of things we start talking about in ethical will, values, stories, life lessons, right? List of personal belongings and who you want them to go to, right? Are you going to do any charitable donations? Yeah. And one of the exercises we suggest you do is to write a legacy letter to a family member or future generation. Yeah. So I would love to, you know, whatever it may be, I hope that our girls, should they want to have kids, um, have good, healthy children. And I want to have send them a message, right? Hey, this is Granddad here. Just, you know, if I didn't get to meet you, man, you know, here's what this is my thoughts. This is some of the cool things that I did in my life, etc., etc. Now you can do that either via writing. Now I know if I did it via writing, right, they won't be able to read anything. Yeah, I should have been a doctor. But what I've done is I've done a number of videos, right? I've done one to my beautiful wife. I've done one of my beautiful daughters. I've done one for this, one for that, right? And it's always been personalized as well. Yeah. Then there's a thing that, one of the other things, right, is, what legacy are you leaving? Yeah. And this is where we go real deep into here. Yeah. You'll see that we've got, some incredible checklists. If those of you that are watching on YouTube, right, we have massive checklists, and this is a hell of a task, guys. It really is. You've got to look deep into it. We give you some pointers around key family conversations as well. One of the things, if your kids are still under 18, guys, hey, we've got a template, right, to your guardian, right? Letter to guardian. Dear guardian, right? So, dear Matt and Rochelle, thank you for accepting the responsibility of caring for my children if I am unable to. I want to share my hopes, values, and key instructions with you. Here are a few things I want you to know about them, our routines, my parenting philosophy, and their unique needs. Yeah. And you list everything. Yeah. This allows them to, reflect themselves, right? That if they go down one path with your children, that, your hope is, right, that they'll remember this letter and go, yep, okay, no, this is the way that they wanted their kids raised and what have you. Yeah. And that's the sort of stuff that we have. Yeah. And look, there's more and more pages, so on and so on. Yeah. So the other thing too that I thought was pretty cool, guys, is we look at things like, oh boy, this is a big one, right? This is the legacy. We actually got a legacy letter template in here, and I'm not going to run through it, but it's pretty powerful. Yeah. And this is where I hope you guys do a legacy letter. What are some of the things you're proud of, right? What values do you hope to carry you forward, and go on and through it? Yeah. And we've given you a bunch of things that you can sort of reflect on and, follow a certain process. So, it's pretty powerful, guys. And lastly, I think the last thing I'll share out of this one as well, because I think it's pretty cool, is what are you going to do with your social media, right? All right. You've got all the social media stuff. Are you going to get them deleted? You're going to leave as is? You're going to memorialize it? Yeah. Part of me wants to now with AI, right? I'm thinking, you know what? I'll just pay someone, in perpetuity to just post up a picture of me, sneaking down from heaven, like I'm coming down, maybe coming north, right? And scaring the shit out of people and going, hey, I'm back, bitches. I don't know. But you still need to think about this stuff, right? And then we talk about an annual review and what have you. Yeah. And we give you the action plan as well. So, look, guys, look out for it. We will certainly let you know if we do decide to send that out to the wide world. It will be 2 visualizations and then the workbook as well, and go from there. Yeah. So, hey, I hope that was useful. I hope that put a couple of ideas into your mind to go, hey, these are the type of insurances I want to sort out in the episode prior. And then, this one here where you go, you know what, let's get some stuff. Let's just go, hey, this is who I am, and let everybody know that, what I stand for, what my values are, and, what I would like done with our assets, once I pass on. As always, guys, if you like the episode, please click the like button, subscribe to it, and, share the episode with your friends and family and let them know that these things are important, tough to talk about, but we need to get it done. Yeah. As always, much love.